monthly finance statement.
Okay, this is the first month of the new year. We're at about 8.3% of our budget. Our total general fund revenue showed 11%. There were some things that were above our 8% franchise fees. Some of these, and let's see, franchise fees and the beer tax, and they are a little high because they probably were dated June 30th when they were sent, and we didn't receive until July, so actually they could have been for last year. Most of the franchise fees we get quarterly from AT&T, the cable, and also Entergy. The swimming pool fees are showing at 18%, but that's the last month we'll show any of that until next summer. On our expenses, administrative was at 11%. One thing that caused that to be a little high was we used to do the Housing Authority Park Patrol, and they cut it out. We paid the Sheriff's Office deputies, but they started it back in July, and so we had a group. There'll be a group the 1st of August also. And our guys, our police department was working this time instead of the Sheriff's Office. And we should be reimbursed for that. I've sent in a form for a letter to be reimbursed to the Housing Authority. After the second session that they show Park Patrol, they would for 2 weeks, they get paid for 2 weeks, $15 an hour. The state said that they were not really authorized to begin this, so that's actually been cut out already. So that's kind of why our admin expenses are a little high. We pay these deputies. Hopefully we will be reimbursed for this. We paid these guys, and Mr. Southern, thinks that he can at least get our reimbursement on this one that shows up in July, and then the one that'll show up in August. But they've actually cut that back out again. Hopefully later they'll reinstate that. Beautification was at 19%. I think we purchased some pine straw. Is that right? From Give-A-Lots. We don't budget a whole lot. That was about $385, but we don't budget a lot for beautification. City Hall. We had a new air conditioner put in. Actually, we pay that out of utility system fund, but there are some. You'll see two expenses to Gym Air, is that what it is? And they actually got to City Hall that's 127, and then another $100, and it kind of made that a little higher. We don't budget a lot for City Hall either. Coroner's fee, we have no control over that. Flags, it was at 27%. We purchased several flags from Mr. Hatton. We replaced 50 flags that were worn on the ones that fly along the highway, and then we did purchase a big flag, so that's made that a little high. The mayor's expense shows 25%. They're doing some work on the new office where the chamber office used to be. When that is complete, we will break that down with the journal entry, the total expense on that, and put that to capital outlay. So that'll.
I got a question on that.
Okay.
Why would we move it to capital outlay?
Just because it will be capital outlay expense. Anything over about $1,000, we usually capital outlay.
Capital outlay was not budgeted in the original budget at the time.
It was not budgeted.
If it's not budgeted, then I don't think we need to move it. We need to look at that. You can't just jump up and move it into capital outlay.
It's not an expense. It was taken from the mayor's expense account,
Mhm.
and it's not, an expense account item. It's a,
Well-
office item.
Make one?
It's an office item, an item for,
In your office that you have in?
yes,
So you're renovating that office? It's your office?
yes,
The present office?
right.
It's a new office.
Big what?
It's a new office.
The old Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's a different office. That's another office.
Roxy, I thought that went on, that
Excuse me?
from last budget from last time. We signed June 30th on that,
On what?
remember you said the money you had left over?
That was for the furniture, it did come out of last year's budget. This is just the, did we put new lights in? Okay, so there's an expense of $765 for new lights.
Which was not budgeted? Was this
It was
budgeted?
not budgeted.
It wasn't budgeted.
No, it was
It
not.
was not budgeted.
It was not budgeted.
Then if it was not budgeted and it's being done, is this a necessity or is this a request? See, what I'm looking at is the fact that there is already an office, now we got a second office.
We need additional room, Mr. Dumas. Economic development, needs an area to work out of. The Ronald really needs to come out of that closet that he's located in.
We should have discussed this at the time we did the budget, therefore we would have had these appropriations already set for these items. Now we're gonna have to ask for an amendment to this budget. If you want these items done, there must be an amendment, because there's no specific spot or an appropriation for these particular, items. It's just a matter of doing an amendment, that's all. But, I mean, it can be done, we just need to do it properly.
I spoke with the clerk about it. She had suggested that we purchase the items now, and then later they would put them into capital outlay.
Yes.
And I was simply following her instructions.
Well, I mean, I have no problem with that, but we need to alter that just slightly, because otherwise we won't be in compliance with our budget, and according to procedures, we must follow the
I
budget.
understand that.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do. An amendment needs to be done in order to recategorize and appropriate these particular items.
When the office is complete, we'll get that total expense and
Line item by line
amend that
item.
budget to a capital outlay. That's right.
Yeah,
We can do that.
We'll do it line item.
Right.
Thank you.
We'll just wait till it's finished and then we'll get the total figure to adjust capital outlay and we'll amend the capital outlay office,
Okay.
because it's an office. Or admin,
And admin.
yeah.
Okay. But in the future, we need to take that into consideration. If there are any changes to be made to the budget, we must understand that that the budget is set and the appropriations are already done. So in the process of doing so, we must amend the budget instead of just arbitrarily taking from different positions and putting this could cause some major problems down the line.
Okay, rather than amend the budget, just leave it in that form. That's fine. I'm sure.
We can address it later, you know.
What's the total so far?
Well,
Actually, the total is irrelevant. It's the process that we have to look at.
What's the total so far, Les?
we got $540 to Kuipers. I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at the invoices to see. I mean, this is just, we know $765 for lighting. I assume that the Kuipers is paint, I'm not sure.
It was around $1,000.
because there'll be some more expense on the next month's bill too, so. Our telephone expense was a little high. I talked to the mayor today, we're gonna kind of look at maybe redoing some of our telephones, looking at some other plans, to try to reduce that telephone expense. It is really high. Group insurance is 16%. We had, we normally pay, the group insurance, at the end of a month for the following month. And so since it was our fiscal year end, we did not pay the insurance at the end of June until July the 1st. And then we had another, the next month for August was paid at the end of July. So it shows 2 months in 1 month, 2 payments in 1 month. That's why that's 16%.
That's the 16%?
Right, that's really July and August, Blue Cross. Recreation salaries is 55%, but that should pretty much stop for the rest of the year because the pool's closed in July. There might be a little bit expense in August. So for the next few months, our recreation salaries and operating, well, not necessarily operating expense, but the pools and the ball fields will kind of slow down some. Capital outlay, we have 16,000. That's for the purchase of the police car, or is that radio equipment? Radio equipment. The car will show up in August, and then community center, that $24,000 in capital outlay. That was a payment. That we actually received grant money for that. That was just, there should be probably just one more payment on the community center on the work. Utility system fund and the administrative expense, there is is at 21%. There was a payment to Badger Meters, which covers actually the customer support for the meters. I talked to the mayor about this today. I'm going to look and see. We might, if that is for the meters support, reading meter support for that program.